So we only told them to be ready, and then yes, there is a possibility of landing on the door, and they were ready. That is why the entire occupation, the people occupying the helicopter, they were absolutely safe without a serious injury.
Scratch.
Minor scratches here and there was the thing. And Toba Nehru is very thin and small. DK Nehru is tall and nicely built. Okay, so it kind of compensated. They sat together, and he told see, because there were two ladies, we had to take care of the ladies and children. We have to take care, and then Kinta looked after his wife. He kept the thing, and then whatever little cushions we had, we put them in between somewhere so that the safety of the landing will be there. And true enough, they were absolutely happy when the helicopter landed. But what happened was, the helicopter, basically a helicopter, if the ground is soft or if the power is not there, it will topple. 99% it will topple because of the
Fall, because of the fall.
because of the weight distribution.
Okay.
The bottom portion of the helicopter is light. The top portion, because of the reductor gear, main rotor gearbox, all things.
The weight is on top.
Weight is on the top, so it will topple. But if there is a little power, we can manage. But anyway, that before we could do anything, it toppled, but it toppled very gently.
Gently.
So lucky,
Controlled.
so fortunate that.
Yes, it toppled very gently.
Also, I can just add to that when you toppled onto the rotors, main rotors. So that also must have cushioned your
impact, cushioned impact.
We have one rotor blade is 22 meters.
Yeah.
Oh, 22.
Yes.
Such a huge one.
And it is solid honeycomb structure.
Yeah,
so
it's very solid.
Very solid. So when it happens, even when it is breaking, it doesn't matter. It broke because of the impact, but it cushions your toppling.
Oh yeah, impact part.
Yes, impact is kind of less. So
now the parts you have shown and posted in our WhatsApp group. No, they show that the accident is of a serious nature.
Yeah, it looks.
Yeah, it looks so serious that nobody believes that there are no injuries to the people.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
No, that's true.
That is why the court of inquiry kind of insisted, are you telling the truth? Is it the only way it happened? So when we told the story, and even the airmen technicians also told the story.
Same story.
Everyone said, okay, they are telling the truth. They are not trying to cover up the.
So, sir, again going back, since the VIP is on the board, so you are also a co-pilot there. So psychologically, I think you must be feeling some kind of pressure or nervousness because of this impending danger and because of the VIP in the board. On the board.
Absolutely. Sir. But I'm telling you, Mrs. Nehru is one. She will put you at ease, disarm you straight away. Oh. She will make sure that they don't impose on you as VIPs.
Okay.
That is the
very friendly nature.
Absolutely. Very, very, very clear in the scene. Okay.
That is a very important aspect.
Yeah, factor. At that point.
Because like Rao was saying, that VIP can make you nervous, for nothing.
Yes.
Or, shouting at you or
showing
making
some anger,
stupid
kind
remarks. Yeah. So that was a very, very nice thing, that she was very calm and collected.
After retirement, I have flown something like 3,000 hours on election flying.
Yes, you were telling us.
Election flying is with good and bad netas.
all kinds of netas.
Why I say bad netas, I'm not talking about their criminal or any other qualities.
Okay.
There are people, they say, I'm giving you money, you will do what I say.
Okay.
There are people who say, do exactly what is safe. Mm-hmm. Late Arjun Singh was one example.
Oh, that's great.
He would not insist on, if I say there is bad weather, he will say, no problem. We will go after the bad weather.
Okay.
There are people like somebody from Bihar, they will say, if this side is bad, go that side.
Okay, so insisting.
So it is. So, but this lady, she will disarm you and put you at ease totally. That is why that pressure was not there. But
so that's great.
Yes, but when the engine started, misbehaving and backfiring, both of us spoke. captain and I said it has to happen. It could happen after landing. It could
Okay.
happen after this thing. If it can last for 1 hour proper running, it could have lasted for another 30 minutes.
Yes, sir.
We would have, because Shillong was inside, and we were, and this thing we would have landed. But
Yeah.
at the same time, that is why it's called an emergency. It is not planned. But what happens is, all the traits in all aspects of life, including flying, everyone is ready for the bad weather days.
Yeah, they do happen. Yes, they do happen.
Emergency days. Okay. So when you ask a lady, what happens if the rice you are cooking is overcooked? What do you do? So she has got a solution for it. Or when the gas finishes suddenly in between, what do you do? So they have solution. So for all emergencies, that is where the procedure is kept, and that is where it's.
Okay.
Now, what we can say is that following procedure, if you are making a mistake in following the procedure, it is not against you. But in trying not to do it, you go and do something else, you are creating more danger. That is where you will be punished.
I think that is how you got absolved within a very short, within maybe 3-4 days time. Court of Inquiry absolved you from all these things.
In the initial,
because we followed the correct
procedure. Yes, sir.
In the initial thing, this thing was there. Any questions anymore?
So, sir, the acknowledgement, that is what Svikruti, whatever you call it. So I think Svikarukti, what does it mean, sir? I have a different meaning in my mind. What do you think about that Svikarukti?
Yeah. See, acknowledgement is anything accepting or acknowledging. You now I am talking to you. You told me something. I am acknowledging that yes, you spoke to me this.
Yes, sir.
So in that story, I try to go through it. The Hindi is very high flown.
Okay.
Bhavani Shankar will tell me how serious is the English Hindi.
Hindi,
the author is Acharya Chatur Sen.
Pakka Hindi type, okay.
Very high Hindi. It is not ordinary Hindi. It is, in the academy, we had classification of Hindi: lower, elementary, lower, middle, and higher.
Okay.
So I was in the lower and then went to elementary. Then I went to lower.
Okay.
I never reached even middle Hindi.
So there is higher side.
Svikarukti means if you committed something, then you are accepting that. That is
yes, sir.
Okay. Something else. It is something you have done wrong and you accepted it. It's
all right. When accepting somebody else's words. So
okay.
I tried to read it. I said, let me go through it as much as possible. Whatever Hindi I am speaking today or learned today is because of the experience which I developed beyond 1970. Okay. Particularly after the retirement, when we have to move around with the civil population, you have to have Hindi. In English or any other language you can manage in the Air Force. But Hindi we have to learn. Okay. Yeah, next.
So, sir, Svikarukti, the acknowledgement part that you have mentioned in the book also, now I have it, I interpret it with a different meaning.
Okay.
So now, since you saved both the lives of the VIPs, it's an acknowledgement from their side of your professional skill and devotion to duty. And because of that, you are given that, whatever the tea party, whatever it was, it is in acknowledgement of your excellent services in saving their lives. That's why I think that.
Yes. Beautiful interpretation. And as you say,
sir,
the having tea with the VIP in their Raj Bhavan.
House, yes, Raj Bhavan.
In their, it's not a house. You should see.
Raj Bhavan, yes.
Their garage is something like a drawing room. Okay.
It's palace.
It's a palace.
Yes, sir.
So if that was the kind of acknowledgement,
yes, sir,
the VIP gave us, Indian Air Force, after having gone through the statements, actions, the court of inquiry procedure, recommended the captain for a Vayu Sena medal.
Well deserved, yes.
Well deserved, no doubt. And Kapul Rao and I, we were given a commendation by the CNC.
Congratulations, sir. I hope you would have been given the same Vayu Sena medal.
No,
anyway.
It was too early. It was too early or too small a job of a thing.
Achha, Kopal.
Maybe supposing the captain was injured and I took over and landed.
Yeah, of course, that would have been a
That
different
is
scenario.
different.
Yeah.
That would have been a kind of a different thing. But this one was thing. So your interpretation of Svikaroti
I
was
think that should be that.
from the Air Force side also. Yes,
Yes.
they acknowledge yes what we did, and that's a beautiful way of interpreting DB.
Correct, sir.
Good.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
No, there's
so
another word. Another
yes.
word for this acknowledgement would be gratefulness also.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yeah. That's what acknowledging the
Yeah.
a kind of thanksgiving for saving
Thanks
their
you.
lives. So now
Thanks.
they
Correct.
may be
Exactly.
VIP, but
Yeah.
to them you are a god saving their
God.
life.
Correct.
So such is
Exactly.
my way of interpretation.
No,
Of
you're
course,
right. Absolutely right.
yes,
You are
sir.
right. Absolutely right. Yeah.
So thank you very much, sir, for wonderful job done during your younger days. And I think everybody would have liked it. Such an inspiring story to listen to and to get inspired this kind of stories. And okay, now I open it to our air warriors to ask questions by unmuting themselves. Sir, would like to share anything, Sridhar sir, at this point?
I just want to ask him one question.
Sir.
This Kurtz, what was the main rota RPM? When any idea you remember that?
192.
192. Okay. Oh, that was the max main rota RPM.
That is the max.
So that was maintained, and that's how you are in the air. Okay.
That was maintained.
Did the engine RPM drop to zero? It didn't drop to zero.
No. Engine RPM did not drop to zero. It was
Okay.
up and down. It was fluctuating. But when we touched down, it had packed up. That is why that vicious yaw was there.
Okay. Oh, that's how the yaw happened.
That is the vision.
Okay, and that's how the aircraft dropped. Fine.
So yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, become Karnik, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Suresh, for the input, because we learn from such narratives of yours what all has been going on in the helicopter front. And thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you very much for your kind sentiments expressed. Yes, the stories are plenty. I had kept a journal. I kept on writing whatever happened. And one book has already come out. Now the people are advising me to come out with a second book. But I haven't got enough courage to do that because the first one is kind of still finding its way in the market and with people.
Maybe because of this corona, sir, this thing goes away, I think it will pick up.
But tell me, are these books available on Amazon, Flipkart, or any other?
Yes, it's available.
It's
very much available.
Oh, okay.
And
just give us the link. Can you send a link?
I shall do that, sir. And I will be very honest to tell you that it is specially written by my wife and I. It is not a continuous novel kind of a book. It is on various. I have written about the 71 war. I have written about the life in the Air Force. I have written about the defense life. And then one important trip in my life, two important trips in my life I did was one trip to Kailash Mansarovar trek by foot. And in the same year, we took the helicopters, sat in a ship and went 27 days voyage to Antarctica and we flew there.
Yeah, all these you have given in narration in the same book?
Yes, in this book.
Oh,
and
we request TBR to send us the link.
Yeah, okay, I'll share the link, sir. I'll share the link.
Thank you.
So the stories are plenty. And also, one thing I must tell you, sir, because we are the helicopter pilots, we do a lot of mercy missions. What is called in the Air Force as CASEVACs, casualty evacuations. We have carried enough number of casualties. Because of that, I have seen the war. I have seen how many people have lost their hands and legs and things like that. So I have dedicated the proceeds of the book to Artificial Limb Center.
Yeah, it's like a very noble act. Very noble act.
Artificial Limb Center, PRC and QMTI. So when you buy a book, the money goes to them. It doesn't come to me because we already told the printing press, you pass the money to them. That's
great.
Who's the printer?
Notion Press.
Notion Press, sir, Chennai.
And in Pune also there is one Notion Press.
Okay.
Great charity work, sir.
Yeah, great, of course.
Undoubtedly. Yeah. Sir, then Das sir, Group Captain Das sir, you can unmute and speak.
Hello, can I talk?
1 second, madam. Group
Okay.
Captain Das is coming on the call. Yes, sir. Yeah, you can speak now, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much, Krishna, and well done. I have now have about 74 hours of the second pilot experience in Alouette. So I also know something about the Alouettes and how they operate in the mountainous terrains of Leh. What you have done and the force landing, the way you did it, is incomparable. And also, that one point which you have stressed is follow the procedures
Yes.
meticulously. Even in the fighters, we have the same thing. Follow the procedures. And there are two varieties of emergencies. One variety is act. Another one is refer to and then act. So mostly we have only the act emergencies which are memorized, and there is no question of deviating from that. And the second type of emergency, it gives you time. You can also contact ATC or somebody else, or you can refer to some books if it is available with you, but mostly it will not be, because you are single seater aircraft flying. So the question of going to the second set of referring to the books doesn't arise except in transport
Your
flight.
voice is going down, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
So
okay.
what you have done, Krish, is again very, very good. That is the act emergency, and you have followed that procedure to that.
Yes, sir.
And that is how we survive in the Air Force or in the flying, wherever it is, in whatever mode. And I also must thank you for your multi-role missions. That is not available to the fighters.
Yes.
So hats off to the helicopter pilots, because they are three-dimensional warriors. And flying is not that easy in a helicopter. I know it. So hats off to you, and thank you very much. God bless you.
It is a very minor kind of emergency. I may put it now in the hindsight, but not that day. As a hindsight, I may say, yes, it was a very minor one, but it could have been a serious one had we not been careful. That's. Thank you so
Correct.
much, sir, for your sentiments. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Can
thank
I?
you, Group Captain.
Can
Yes,
I?
madam. Yes, madam.
Krish
Yeah.
is my younger brother, and we are all very proud of Krish. Any amount of training, experience, or learning, it has to act on spur of the moment, which he did. Spur of the moment acting is very important. You people did that, and it was tremendous. And on a lighter note, I tell you one incident. When we were young, my eldest brother used to teach us how to eat properly, not spelling, not here. And he used to ask us, what will you do if you sat next to governor and me? And later on, it has proved that my younger brother really not only saved the governor and also was invited. And we are all very proud. Krish, keep it up. Congrats.
Thank you so
We are
much.
all
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, wait, not only you, the entire Air Force is proud of his act of bravery or coolness or saving of a VIP. It's an amazing act of courage under those trying circumstances.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Mama.
Yes.
Actually, I wanted to tell the same thing like my sister. Okay, she told like that. And then one more thing, not technical, but what about the finding about the machines that failed? Couldn't they come before checking, or it couldn't make out or something? What about why it failed? What was
why
the
did it fail, sir? You flown on a series of shortage during wartime. It never failed. Why did it fail? That is the
no, no.
question.
If it is 1 hour flight, if it fails means could not be found out before checking or something, or it happens like that suddenly.
The piston engine is known to have given some kind of problem, something or the other, all the time. So we had Dakotas in Kumbhigram, which used to come from Jorat and fly. Every alternate day, we used to have one single engine. One engine switched off and come and land in the single engine. What happened was, when there is a misfiring or anything, if there is no load, they used to switch off one engine, come on single engine and come and land. But me, for being a single engine, I have greatest amount of reliability with the Air Force maintenance. Yes, Air Force maintenance, and also I have greatest amount of admiration for them. Okay, I have no clubs, but that particular day, I can't even say that I did the DI. We were accompanied by the technicians for the flight because of the VIP. So they have done the DI themselves. So everything is normal, but it can happen, and it has happened. That is why it is called an emergency. Nothing else.
Accident, yes. Yes,
Yeah,
madam. Anything?
Dr. Sankaran.
Yeah, I think Dr. Shankar has been trying. Yes.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Hats off, sir.
Yeah, can we see you, sir? Your video is off. Yes, sir.
Very good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Namaste, sir. I just enjoyed, sir. I'm directly coming to the technical aspect. I'm dealing with this particular subject, helicopter aerodynamics. Please don't mind, sir, what literature says, what I understood, I have not practiced. And this incident took place. What about the ground effect, sir? As I wanted to ask, already you told regarding the auto rotation of fixed wing and helicopter is different.
No.
Once there is auto rotation, having got a 22 meter of ground effect, literature says if you maintain up to 22 meter, if you reach that, you'll have a ground cushion effect, and definitely the downwash, as sir knows well, from the main rotor, definitely it will give cushioning, and definitely it will help you out. That is what some other person was asking about the speed of rotor speed is at 192. Having noticed that, having had a sufficient time, rule book doesn't permit, it seems, to go for auto rotation, sir. That's the only question.
For auto rotation, you require a minimum height.
Okay.
It's like, just to give you a rough example, is like a para jumping, ejection. Zero speed ejection I'm not talking about, but if you want to do an ejection in the air, you require a height for the parachute to open and come down safely. Similarly, auto rotation also, the moment you disengage the engine from the gear, through the gear, the rotors will rotate, but the rotor rotating is enough for you to land or not. That is what it is important. Okay, so we had some kind of power, so we thought we'll be able to manage, and we nearly managed to touch down with the partial power. Last minute, the engine said, okay, I have behaved. Now that you are close to the ground, I am going back. That is how it happened. And that yaw, because of the force movement, the helicopter took a swing and toppled. It may not have toppled otherwise, but it toppled, but it doesn't matter. Luckily, since the accident maxim, the effect of the accident is there should be no fatal. That is what was taught to us all the time. Even if you land, even if you land in a village, but try and go in for a road, don't go to the habited area. That is what they say. So similarly, no fatal, minor injuries, we all got it. So that gives us a greatest amount of satisfaction. I hope it answers your questions. Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I think Balinga, sir. Unmute and speak, sir. Yes.
Yeah, am I audible? Am I audible?
You are audible.
Absolutely, Balinga sir. How are you?
Thank you, sir. I'm fine, sir. So nice of you.
Good.
Sir, this is first time, I think many of us, we heard the forced landing story right from the direct personality. That is from you. Because forced landing we never heard till day. but your narration, thanks to you as well as the Patak sir and Rao, and your narration has given us a lot of input to us. That is in today's situation. There are few questions in my mind, being an engine person, because I never worked on helicopter, but while listening, few questions arise. Number one, the engine was backfiring. So, whether it later on it was found why it was backfiring in court of inquiry. Number one. Number two, while landing or while coming on your landing place, you switched off the engine first and then your wheel got touched down. That is number two. Number three, see, your engine was in three parts. I mean, a helicopter was in three parts, and your helicopter main body was toppled to one side, where your main door, exit door, entry exit door was blocked, and you had to open the rear door and you have to pull out the VIPs. But then you had to struggle while opening. So I mean, you mentioned that you never used to try that, but then lot of learning from this, so that whether later on the maintenance point of view, it was special care was taken. All the time you must check these also. Then fourth point is a standing operating procedure. That your operating procedure, it is agreed. The procedure is laid for everything, helicopter or your fighter aircraft, or even in other technical field also, your aviation industry, even a technical industry, because what procedure is laid or what theory is laid, and the practical thing, by virtue of your experience, sometimes you may have to little deviate from practical point of view or experience point of view, and then you have to see the safe landing or safety of people in aircraft. That is a fifth question. And the last question, that is what you mentioned about the VIPs. I appreciate the excellent hospitality by VIPs to you. As they mentioned the Swikruti, it means you accept the reality. When you accept the reality, you don't lose your balance of your mind. Your mind is prepared to face any situation. That's what I'm trying to share my thoughts on my experiences. So accept the reality so that you are able to find out the solution and you handle it very peacefully. And these are a few questions in my mind. And then I'm very, very grateful to you, sir. This is the first time I heard the crash landing story from you, sir. Now there are a lot of other earlier cases also there. People have landed. I mean, the fuel was less, and a lot of bullets were hit to the body. In spite of that, they have taken the risk and landed. So it's a risk they have taken and landed. Probably they must have definitely gone out of procedure, but again the risk, because no risk, no gain. Every individual has to take risk in the life, and that is what people have taken. So these are the few thoughts I shared with you, and few questions I'll be grateful if I get them.
Okay, the spark plug getting foul, or some problem with the mixture. It is possible. Okay, so it is possible. Both the things are possible. It can and it could have happened in the Me4 engine, because it is a piston engine. So the engine was on till the last. After touchdown, it went off on its own. We didn't switch off. It went off on its own. Okay, that is what it is giving me the yaw, which initiated a kind of a shift to the right and toppling. That is what happened. Okay, clamshell door, what you said is very good. We raised the matter, and in one Antarctica helicopter, when it went in the water, we had created a special plastic door on the clamshell, so that it can be opened, it can be break open, and then you can get out. And got the passengers out through that. It was accepted. The SOPs, there is a TEM. Now that I have put in a lot of experience, I am teaching these days something called TEM, error management. So what has happened to you in an emergency is an error. How are you going to threat? So threat and TEM, threat and emergency.
Error management.
Error management. So what happens is, when you have a problem and in trying to follow the rules, you are going by the book. What experiences told in the wind tunnel, what experiences told by the earlier pilots, they have put it in the form of an SOP. So we can say the threat which came was a common threat, the engine failure or an engine underpowering. So we took action accordingly. What wouldn't have been accepted by the court of inquiry or others, my seniors, will be by trying to do something. If I have created more mess, then they would have said, why did you do that?
Yes.
Why didn't you stick to the book? And we stuck to the book, and it happened. The toppling they have accepted. Yes, it can happen to the helicopter anytime. These days, I am teaching the young mariners HUET, helicopter underwater escape training. This is when you are going offshore. What happens in case the ditching takes place, in case the helicopter has to land in the water? How are you going to come out of the helicopter before you open your safety jacket for the floating in the water? So we keep telling them, do not open the safety jacket inside the helicopter. There is a lot of water entering the helicopter, do not open. So in order to tell them this, to put it in their mind, I tell them not once. In a course of lecture in 1 hour, I tell them 20 to 25 times. Idea is telling them that it is not correct to open it and something like that. So threat and error management, yes, clearly tell us that follow the SOP, you will be out of the problem. And the point on the clamshell door, I have told you already. Anything, sir. I hope I have done.
Yeah, Bhavani sir.
The last one. So, to what I gathered, the excellent hospitality by VIP was the motivation for you. I think that was a
Absolutely,
great
sir.
motivation for you, and lot of learning from that, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir. A pat on the back.
Yes.
A pat on the back always works. There is no
Yes,
doubt
sir.
about it. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Later on, one day I will catch up. Doc, Air Commodore Sridharan and I, we flew together in the war, and we brought a casualty. He was the reason. The casualty was the reason for us to take off late. You will remember that. It is in the book also. Same book. It is there. So one Jawan had misplaced his rifle. He didn't come in time, but we waited. We waited for him. See the destiny. We waited and took him. The same night we brought him back injured.
Yes. You are narrating, sir, while telling the story. Yeah.
That is what is the thing. Yes, sir. Anything.
Yes, sir. Bhavani Shankar garu.
Sir, the special appreciation for you. Very few people have recorded these all events, and we appreciate you have recorded all small things, and it is going to be history in the aviation as well as the learning for the new generation. For that, special thanks to you. Special thanks to you, sir.
Balinge sir, you should have met those couple, Nehru couples. You should have met. I am so very fortunate. I can say very आंख बंद करके बोल सकता हूँ that they were incarnation of God, not because of they were kind to me, because of their behavior.
That's great. Yes.
The behavior. So it is a lifetime experience to come across somebody. How will I not remember? I have to remember such people.
True, sir. True.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Balinga sir. Then Bhavani Shankar sir, I think you are very. I think you have a lot of knowledge on these engines and all.
Yes, he will have some technical.
Yeah. Is it there? Bhavani Shankar garu. Yeah. For that matter, anybody? Nurul Hasan Saab, Naib, or Manohar Raj garu.
Good evening to all.
Hello, Manoharji. How are you?
Thank you very much, sir. I am all right. At the very outset, very happy 75th Independence Day. In fact, being a non-technician.
1 minute, Manohar.
Sir.
Today all happens to be the World Helicopter Day.
Yes,
Yeah.
I wish you very happy Helicopters Day. One more thing, sir.
Helicopters.
Yes, sir. One more thing. Being a non-technician, for the past almost 1.5 hours, I felt as if I was seeing a thrilling movie. Great thriller. That English movie, The Great Escape.
Great Escape.
So this incident had happened only because of the fact that we are destined to listen to you from your mouth. It has to come from horse's mouth. So the way you have narrated, it is nothing but recreation of everything. I was visualizing as if I was seeing an English movie. How a helicopter, it comes with some trouble in engine and it totters and it comes very close to ground and about to crash, but it doesn't crash. It crashes very gently. All these things I have visualized it. I think most of us, all of us, we have visualized that. So your narration is nothing but recreation of what had happened some decades ago. Really, we are very much thankful to you, sir. But I have only one small clarification, sir. I think a similar incident had happened near Jorhat in Avro aircraft, I think.
Tu-124.
Tu-124, yes, yes.
Tu-124.
And
Moraji Desai.
Morarji Desai and aircraft nose landed and the pilots got killed. But Morarji Desai, even he didn't know what had happened in cockpit. So if you can kindly explain quickly about that, we'll be benefited by that, sir. And thank you.
Tu-124 is a transport aeroplane with fighter characteristics. I hope you can understand what I'm talking.
Yes, yes.
It is a transport aeroplane, but with a fighter characteristic. It had good speed, it had a delta wing, everything. Only thing it could not accept is undershooting approach. At night, they did an undershooting approach and it crashed. And Morarji Desai, being a fit man he was not injured at all. He was helping the others to come out of the helicopter. Unfortunately, many people died in that aircraft. It was a fatal, very bad fatal accident. So another day, I will pull out the story and then I'll give you as much I can understand and tell you. Or I will pull out some transport pilot to tell you the story. No problem. This is the promise. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
Manohar, thank you, sir. Sir, one doubt in my mind, it happened with our Rajshekar Reddy, Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. When he was traveling by the helicopter, it crash landed somewhere. I mean, it crashed and both pilot and he also died. What could have happened in the sky itself, sir? For their
They're too experienced pilot, group captain.
some group captain level kind of person was the pilot. Yes.
Only thing I will tell you is what question you asked in the beginning.
Sir.
How are the passengers? How much pressure they put?
Oh, yes.
When you fly in civil, they will put a whole lot of pressure. They will tell you that if I don't go to that place, the VIP will, the Neta will tell you, if they don't go, the entire world will come down that very minute.
So that could be a weather.
They took off in bad weather.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My doubt also was the same, sir.
And they had misjudged because of the clouding, the hill in front. They crashed into the hill.
So yes, sir, I got it. Thank you, sir.
My question was.
Yeah, good, sir.
My question was, if the co-passengers would have been tanky, is there anything in rule books how you could behave with them to make them cool? If they were more tanky, what would have been the solution?
No.
Sorry to ask that.
I told you these days I'm giving lecture to the occupants of the offshore helicopter passengers. Can you imagine training the offshore passengers? Can you imagine training the helicopter passengers? We are training. Why? Because we want to tell them that helicopter can ditch in the water. Helicopter can be filled with water, salt water, but it can come out safely. This is what I'm trying to tell them. You don't have to die along with the helicopter. And it is very effective. People have come out safely from the helicopter. So panic does not help, but accepting the situation and doing the drill as per what you have learned will help you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Bhavani Shankar, sir, we missed you last time also. If you can ask anything.
There are some problems.
Now we can try, sir. We can try.
First thing is that very truly you are told the behavior of VIP in VIP flying is really, it makes a lot of difference. In crews, if they are under pressure, they are working, definitely they are likely to commit mistakes. So if you are flying with a good, VIP whose behavior is good, definitely it makes a lot of difference. Second thing is that as far as me 4 is concerned, I have not flown as a crew or as a passenger, but I have flown Me 3525 where our position is same as in Me 4. We are just have to stand in between pilot and co-pilot. So that is really very tiresome. Very tiresome. Later on, they have introduced a seat in between. Otherwise, in initial stage when it came from the Russia, we were just standing. Third thing is that what Mr. Shankaran asked about the cushioning effect. cushioning effect comes when helicopter is hovering. Sir, when you are landing in emergency, how you can think of cushioning effect. That's what is my submission.
The cushioning effect,